Hi, this is Asa, and welcome to my audio experience. Your life, remember, if the body can get sick, it can also get well. It's about lifestyle. So the choices we make today will determine the kind of health we can have tomorrow. It's all about lifestyle. So choices matter. They do. And no matter what anybody tells you, that if you've been diagnosed with a condition like heart disease or diabetes or fibromyalgia or cancer, whatever it is, the body can unwind a lot of times what it's been diagnosed with if you give it the right tools to be able to do that. We're learning now more than ever that lifestyle really is our medicine. That is the absolute key. 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. Give us a call or go to the website. Go to InShapeNetwork.com. Olivia in Jacksonville, Florida says, I have a son that's in desperate need of losing weight. So I'd like to know if what you're talking about can be beneficial. He's an adult and he doesn't have a primary care doctor. Well, I'll tell you this, he needs to get a primary care. Now there's no reasons why someone can't. So to get a primary care doctor is going to be important. He's got to have a head coach. Okay, can we help him lose weight? Yes. I mean, that's not, weight loss is a science, okay? It's not a mystery. And there's ways you just got to figure out what's going on with his body and where his nutritional challenges are, and then we just build from there. That's the ultimate key, really, to understand that, is to build and come up with a game plan. And that's one of the major pieces you have to look at. So first and foremost, what do? Get a doctor. I think that's important. Then you got to lay out a plan. So when you're losing weight, you've got to understand a couple things. One is you got to figure out his body type. All right. So what's his actual body type? Some people process fats, carbohydrates, and proteins different than others, and each body type primarily will handle it a different way. So you got to know the body type, and then once you know the body type, you can start figuring out the overall metabolism. Understand do some blood work and figure out what nutritional deficiencies are there, and then go from there. But you just have to build a plan. But definitely can lose the weight. There has to be a systematic approach, and that's what we do in the clinical setting. 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. Give us a call or go to the website. Go to InShapeNetwork.com. Let's go to Thomas on the phones. Hi, Thomas.
I've had multiple heart attacks. I have heart disease, coronary heart disease, diabetes, sugar,
Yeah.
and high blood pressure.
Okay.
And I have a battery in my chest with a loop recorder, and I have the bass that sits on my bed at night, and the other one I carry on the side of my leg every day.
Okay, so a lot going on. I would do this. So when you get frustrated like that, or not frustrated, but when you get into a place like that where it can be frustrating, okay, when you have so many things going on, you feel like, where do I start? Here's where you start. You start with the ability to know that you want to get well. Not maybe if it happens one day, but that you're in it for a fight, that you're willing to do what it takes, no matter how hard it might be, okay? That you want to do everything you can to be able to push your body to that next level. So one of the keys you have to look at, and this is what I would focus in on, is to make sure that you do everything you can. And this is what I mean by that. If you're going to eat right, then create a plan and eat that way. Don't veer from it. If you want it, if you want to get well. If you don't, then it won't matter. But the other thing, too, is your exercise. It's going to be important. Even with your situation, you got to find out your limitations that the doctor says, hey, you can do this. You can walk every day. I don't want you doing heavy weights, but you can walk every day. I don't want you doing sprints, but you could maybe walk or swim. So you find out what the doctor is cool with based on what they have done to your body at this point, where the body's limitations are, where the deficiencies are, all that kind of thing. You figure out what those limitations are, and then you build from there. So that's the ultimate key, is you build a game plan. Now, when it comes down to these other issues, I would focus in on getting a good solid plan first, and then go from with the other areas. You start naming off the other conditions. You've got to get your primary lifestyle setup done first. That has to happen before anything else. Once you get that done, then that will build your routine. That can help you with your heart functioning better, cholesterol levels being better, energy levels being better, hormone systems working better. Like, it all starts with one area, and you build from there. Okay, that's the key. Now, also when you think about this, you got to think about sleep patterns. I'll tell you a big secret with the heart is getting good sleep, and it's making sure you get into a deep stage of sleep. That's one of the major pieces that will really help you win more than just about anything else. Okay, 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. Give us a call or go to the website. You go to InShapeNetwork.com. What about back pain? 98% of people, they say, will have back pain at some point in their life. That's a lot. You ever think about that? That's a lot of people. All right. Every minute of every day, there's a network of muscles in your body's core that ceaselessly toils to shift stress and strain away from your lower spine. And in the process, it keeps you from having low back pain. So if it doesn't, there's a regular regimen of back exercises that can help build muscle, making it better able to support the spine. And experts recommend the back exercise session of 15 to 30 minutes a day, 2 to 3 times a week. It does. You have to have that to really make a difference. So stretching improves flexibility with the muscles and supports your back, and that flexibility can be very important to preventing lower back pain. So when the spine is subject to extreme stress, therefore, before you start any of the back exercise programs, remember, you got to check with your doctor, make sure they're good with it. I'm still a fan of that. I think it's smart. You want to consider a couple things. There's certain exercises that you can do. One's called a pelvic tilt. The other one's called double knee to chest. And it's kind of hard to explain, but on the website, if you go, there's some examples of these. If you go to InShapeNetwork.com. And then also side stretch is another good one. The back arch is a good one too. And again, these are all listed there. Routine exercises to strengthen and lower back support. One of the best exercises for reducing the chance of back pain can focus not on your back, but on your front. So Nick Shamey, who's a physician and associate professor of spine surgery at UCLA School of Medicine, they looked at that and they said abdominal crunches are very good for the lower back. But the abs provide invaluable support for the spine. So there's things called a cat and camel. There's wall squats. You know wall squats. You did that in PE class. Or you did it when you played football. And then your leg raises. Straight leg raises. You lie on your back, one leg straight, one leg bent. Tighten your abs. Slowly lift the extended leg off the ground 6 to 12 inches. Hold for 5 seconds or more. Then it'll really start to get in and start burning really good. But that makes a big difference overall and give you a lot of stability and start building the strength that you need all the way around. It can make a big difference. 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. Give us a call or go to the website, InShapeNetwork.com. We'll be right back with more Healthy Talk Radio here to take you from where you are to where you need to be and where you want to be. Hi, it's Asa. I'm giving you a copy of my best-selling book for free to help you in your health journey today. I'll pay for the book. All you do is just cover the small shipping and handling costs. Go to asarx.com and get your free book today.
To find out more, connect with On Call Radio online at InShapeNetwork.com.
Lines are open, 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. Welcome back to the show. Check us out on the web, InShapeNetwork.com. That's InShapeNetwork.com. Whatever you're struggling with, remember, if the body can get sick, it can also get well. It is about lifestyle. So the lifestyle choices that you make each and every day, we want to help you make better ones. That's what takes you into the different levels for your health, rather than just being stuck where you are. We don't want to see you stuck. We want to see you accelerate and really begin to thrive. Now let's talk about sleep for just a minute. So sleep is a good thing. I'm a big fan. There's so much research on it and studies on it. We know that sleep is good. Okay, we know that sleep is beneficial for us, and we have to have it. There's just no way around it. But sleep during the day, they say, can throw off your genes and throw them into total, complete disarray. So much for the power naps. They say sleeping during the day, naps are okay, by the way, small ones, 15 minutes. They disrupt the rhythms of about 1/3 of your genes. What's more is shifted sleep appears to disrupt gene activity even more than not getting enough sleep. Okay, so for the new study, which was published in the recent week of the proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences, British researchers put 22 healthy young volunteers in dimly lit sleep labs for 3 days. During the day, they disrupted the participants' sleep at regular intervals to reset their body clock to the innate rhythm. On the second and the third days, the volunteers ate and slept on a 28-hour schedule, their longest, all the way up to about 6:30 p.m. Researchers did blood samples, they did all that, and they found that estimated that sleep disruptions would ultimately impact about 1/3 of a person's genes. So if you're getting disrupted sleep, you're getting about 1/3 of your genes are getting disrupted. That's even greater disruption than scientists saw previously when they tested the effects of sleep deprivation on gene activity. So it's interesting to see how that actually happens. Study volunteers sleeping about 5.5 hours each night, and the number of genes that were in sync with the body's clock dropped about 9% to 7%. So looking at that, they say they think that what can happen is be related to the negative health outcomes associated with long-term shift work. So shift workers have a real challenge in front of them because they have higher rates of obesity, diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, and menstrual cycles, and even cancer. So the study didn't directly connect health problems in night shift work, but the experts said it does help them to understand why sleep might have such a powerful influence on a person's health. So studies suggest that mistimed sleep can alter circadian rhythms, and of course the cycling of many of the genes are impaired that way. So genes carry the instructions for making proteins, and the proteins make up just about every kind of chemical signal, hormone, and tissue in the body. So the timing of when proteins are made is very important too. So the rhythm, it's the rhythm. That's the big deal. Got to get your body on the right rhythm, and if you're doing shift work, it can be a big challenge, but getting it on task can really make a difference. 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. Lines are open with questions about your health. You can give us a call or go to the website, go to InShapeNetwork.com. Let's get over to Martha. Hi, Martha.
I'm calling about skin, itching skin, just itching all the time, and try different type of creams and other items like that. I wanted to know if there's anything in general that can be done.
Yeah, with the skin itself, remember, skin conditions come from the inside out, not the outside in. So most skin conditions, if your skin starts acting weird, you get splotches, you get itching, looks like psoriasis, go back and look at what you're doing internally. So your body has to have enough of what's coming in to really do well. And what I mean by that is you've got to eat certain foods that can make an impact. And the ones that do that really can get in there and impact your health, especially for the skin, are probiotics. So you can do fermented vegetables. You could do Greek yogurt. Kimchi is another good one. But those, building up the right kind of gut bacteria is important for the skin. Zinc's a great mineral, and it's a mineral that we just don't get enough of. But zinc is important for the skin, as well as omega-3 fatty acids. So omega-3, 6s, and 9s are essential to give the body what it needs to. So you got to have enough of the healthy fats to build these levels up in the body. And getting enough of those is extremely important. So I would encourage you to definitely be taking in enough of the fatty acids, and you get a blood test done to check that out. Because if you don't have it, if it's not in the blood, you're not getting enough of that, then yeah, that can make a big difference. But fatty acids are going to be super, super important to get enough of what you need each and every day. I would focus in on that, and that will give you, you want to get the numbers as high as you can on the scale. But there's some people supplement with almost 30 to 45 grams of fish oil a day. That's a lot. Okay, most people don't even get 45 grams of fat a day, much less to get that from the fatty acids. But that will help. That'll help the skin overall. Okay, you got to get down to the root cause of that, and that'll make a difference. 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. Give us a call or go to the website and go to InShapeNetwork.com. There you can find all kinds of information to give you the help that you need from your health. So no matter what you struggle with, remember, it's pretty easy to get the body where it needs to go. It's just you have to make the right choice and decision. That's the key. Now, I want to get into an email I've got from Sammy. And Sammy writes, he's from up in Massachusetts, wants to know, what can I do? I struggle with gaining muscle, and I've been working on gaining some muscle for over 10 months, and I'm not seeing the results I need. What do I do? Well, it's a science. I can tell you that. And I've been in this game for 20 plus years as far as working out, building muscle, being an athlete. And there are some genetics. Matter of fact, there's a lot of genetics involved when you see what you see in magazines and athletes. But there is a lot of knowledge and a lot of science, okay? So I put on over 170 pounds of muscle since I started working out, all without drugs and all that. So you can be done. You just have to know what you're doing. But you really have to get into a good, solid game plan of eating, learning your body type, how much protein you need to be taking in, what type of exercise, what type of resistance exercise you need to be doing, and what's good for your body type. There's a whole system for that. If you need help, get in touch with one of my coaches right there, and we can help you lay out a game plan for you. Just give us a call, 888-283-7272. More Healthy Talk Radio when we come back. Don't go anywhere.
Did you know that you can listen to the Asa Rx audio experience on Spotify and Pandora? For all the ways to watch and listen, check out our show page at asarx.com/experience.
To find out more, visit the show online, InShapeNetwork.com.
Our food is medicine in a lot of ways, so what we put inside of our body becomes our body. Did you know that? So you put good food in, you're going to get good cells. You put bad food in or junk food in, and you have a high potential to make what? Junk cells. See, the body doesn't know the difference between baked chicken and fried chicken or French fries or broccoli, but we do. That's the great bit of news. And just so you know, everybody's eating all that. But the key is that if 90% of the time you can eat what you're supposed to be eating, then you can really enjoy great health. That is an absolute key. So we have to focus in on making sure we do the right things. I mean, and food is our foundation. It's our medicine in so many ways. And the cool thing about it is when you look at different foods, they have properties that can come in and transform our health in so many ways. So you have to look at different foods and what they can do to the body, how they can improve our health. It's pretty amazing. And you can always call our office at 888-283-7272 if you have questions. But it's true. There's so much with our foods that really matter. And that's why I like highlighting different foods and telling about how it is medicine to the body. You know, with our lifestyle choices, I always say lifestyles are medicine, and it is. And there's so many lifestyle variables, 7 key ones that I discuss, which are the foods we eat, which is what we're talking about here, the air we breathe, the water we drink, the exercise we get, okay, the stress we manage, the relationships we keep, and then the rest that we allow. So those 7 are your 7 key factors that you're in control of every day. And when those factors are affected in any way, okay, that's going to have an impact on your health. It's kind of like those are different. If you're a big investor or if you're into that sort of thing, there are factors that will affect your investments. And you have to watch over those. And you have to make sure you're following certain guidelines and principles with your investments on a regular basis because of what that can do. And that's one of the big keys here too. So you want to figure out and understand ways to really help your body get to where it needs to be. That is an absolute key. And it comes down to choices. And our foods are medicine. That's where it all begins. That's why we're cranking it out right here to talk about it. So today we're going to talk about a fruit that probably is not your go-to. I mean, when you go to a fruit basket at somebody's house, or if you look in your own fruit basket, or maybe you're sitting on your countertop, this is probably not your go-to. It might be, and if it is, that's a cool thing. But if it's not, it's okay. You're going to learn about it today, all right? We're talking about plums. They are amazing. One of my favorite things to do with plums, I love them, is keep them in the refrigerator and then eat them cold. To me, fantastic. They're just really great. So dried versions of the plums, of course, are called prunes. And if you've ever had prunes, maybe when you're sick, constipated, whatever, they have a little bit different type of taste. I'm not as much of a fan of the prunes as I am the real plums. So, but they're high in a content of these phytonutrients. Okay, phytonutrients are just basically nutrients that are good for you, that have a lot of power in them, plant-based nutrients. And of course, it's basically, so in a lot of our fruits and vegetables, you're going to have these phytonutrients, right? Neochlorogenic and chlorogenic acid. They're substances found in the plum and prune that are classified as phenols, all right? And their function is antioxidants. It's well documented. So these damage-preventing substances are particularly effective in neutralizing a particularly dangerous oxygen radical called superoxide anion radical. And it's been shown to help prevent oxygen-based damage to fats, which is a big deal. And you get a lot of oxygen-based damage to the fats. That's one of the big things you got to worry about, okay? Because you got to be concerned and make sure you're setting up the body to win against something like that. Now, better iron absorption plus more antioxidant protection from vitamin C is another big one too. So plums, of course, most fruits and vegetables have a ton of vitamin C. We're talking about how food is medicine. And if you, by the way, if you have questions while I'm talking, you can go 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. Always give us a call. Now, vitamin C, of course, is contained in most fruits and vegetables. All right, and most foods in general have a little bit of vitamin C at some level, and it's one of the top antioxidants. I mean, they say that vitamin C is in every cell within our body, and is one of those vital nutrients that really keeps us moving and thriving. But in addition to assisting with the absorption of iron, vitamin C is needed in the body to make healthy tissue, and is also needed to make a strong immune system. So getting a little vitamin C around cold and flu season is a very good idea, and it may also be helpful for people who suffer from recurring ear infections. Vitamin C has also been very helpful in a lot of these. Well, the neat thing about this is that plums are loaded with the vitamin C, and so they're very helpful. Plums have been shown to be helpful with conditions like asthma, with colon cancer, with osteoarthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, which is an autoimmune condition, which is more where the immune system is attacking the joints themselves. And so vitamin C is able to help those who are at risk for suffering for these conditions. So owing to the multitude of vitamin C's health benefits, it's not surprising that the research has shown that the consumption of the vegetables and fruits high in the nutrient is associated with a reduced risk of death from all causes, including heart disease, stroke, and cancer. So it makes a big difference overall with what's going on inside the body. Very important to kind of see that. And vitamin C plays that key role in what it can do to our overall health. It's powerful. I mean, vitamin C is, again, it's in all of them, but plums and prunes have a good source of them. Now, they normalize blood sugar and can help with weight loss. This is something that's fascinating. So remember, when you're thinking about everybody wants to cut the carbs, right? No carbs. All right, I'm going to lose all my weight, cut the carbs. Foods are medicine. So yeah, food can make you fat. It can. And food can make you skinny. Food can make you strong. Food can make you weak. Food can make you have energy. Food can make you tired. There is a yin and a yang to food. Okay. And when we're talking about plums and prunes, both, I mean, they're interchangeable at this point. We're talking about how they can stabilize blood sugar levels and they can help with weight loss, which is very, very strong. So prunes, soluble fiber, help to normalize blood sugar levels by slowing down the rate at which food leaves the stomach and delaying the absorption of glucose, which is the form of sugar that's transported in the blood, by following a meal. So the cool thing is that when you eat a prune or a plum, whatever, let's say you had a chicken breast and a couple of plums, right? You're going to go work out in about an hour. The cool thing is that you get some good carbs coming in from the fruit, and it's going to absorb and digest fairly slowly, but that's going to give you sustained energy. Now, the one thing about fruit is you don't want to do a ton of it. Now, the cool thing is that maybe a plum may have about 20 grams of carbs in it. But you don't want to do it to over about 100 grams of fruit a day, because after you do that, it's fructose. So it's a type of sugar that doesn't store in the muscle cells. Okay. It only stores in the liver. And so that's something you have to be really cautious with, because if you eat a ton of fruit, then you're going to get a lot of spillover. And if you're an athlete, it's only like brown rice and a lot of the other like starchy carbs, beans, sweet potatoes, those types of foods are what's going to store the carbohydrate back in the muscle cell, which is a good thing. So with plums themselves, when we're talking about weight loss, the reason it's helpful for weight loss is because when you eat, like if I was saying, that chicken breast and a couple of plums, so protein and a carb, if you're doing that, the fiber that's in there is going to help that slow release, and it's a low glycemic type sugar. And so it's the good thing is it's not going to cause a big rise in the blood sugar overall. Now, anyway, very good for weight loss, very good for stabilizing blood sugar like diabetes. Prunes fiber is really good for regularity too, lowering cholesterol and intestinal protection. So prunes are well known for their ability to prevent constipation. In addition, they're great for digestive health. I mean, just amazing. They have a lot of potassium, magnesium that naturally occurs in it. They also help reduce the risk of colon cancer and hemorrhoids. Prunes insoluble fiber also provides food for the friendly bacteria in the large intestine. And they have this acid in there called propionic acid. And the propionic acid is produced from the prunes and plums. It's an insoluble fiber. It may also partly be responsible for the cholesterol-lowering properties of fiber as well. And so it can inhibit this HMG-CoA reductase, which is an enzyme involved in the production of cholesterol by the liver. So by lowering the activity of the enzyme, the propionic acid helps to lower blood cholesterol levels, which makes a huge difference in your overall health in a big, big way. So just a couple things to think about. Can be very, very helpful for your overall health. That can be helpful to get you where you need to go. It is. It's important. So our foods are medicine in so many different ways. And when you start talking about plums and prunes, those types of foods, because they're loaded with vitamin C and they've got such great capabilities in them for controlling and supporting cholesterol levels, even helping to prevent heart disease. But think about this. With the normalizing of blood sugar and also with weight loss, it adds more of a power punch. And then you've got all the antioxidant protection that gets in there. And that's what it really comes down to. When you start wanting to talk about antioxidant protection, that's a huge deal, because the antioxidants are one of the keys that you have to look at, and that's constantly a barrage breaking our cells down on a daily basis that can create such a challenge for you. But our foods are medicine. So the great thing is, if you've been eating the wrong kind of food, you can always stop and create a new eating plan where the foods can actually bring health to the body. There's two things that foods do: bring health to the body or take health out of the body. You have to decide each and every day what you're going to do. You can always give us a call at 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. Our food is powerful. It's the choice that we make every single day that can help bring us to make good, healthy cells or not so good cells. But again, that choice is up to us.
Hi, it's Asa. I'm giving you a copy of my best-selling book for free to help you in your health journey today. I'll pay for the book. All you do is just cover the small shipping and handling costs. Go to asarx.com and get your free book today.
Connect with On Call Radio and watch On Call TV at InShapeNetwork.com.
Lines are open, 888-283-7272. Welcome back to the show. Check us out on the web, InShapeNetwork.com. Ankylosing spondylitis, if you've never heard of it, is a challenging form of back pain. As a matter of fact, 26 million Americans aged 20 to 64 experience back pain frequently, according to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. But for some time, back pain can be due to more than a pulled muscle or other injury. It can be caused by a chronic condition called ankylosing spondylitis, or AS. And the name's kind of complicated, sounds weird, but it's a type of arthritis, and it strikes the spine, but it moves to other joints, and it affects about 1% of the U.S. adult population. It's about the same percentage as people who are affected with rheumatoid arthritis, although AS is far less well known. So there's some surprising facts about the AS that we need to look at. Ankylosing spondylitis tends to strike at a young age. So unlike most forms of arthritis, you can hit between 17 and 45. It's pretty normal, okay? Back pain's common when you start getting the symptoms. And besides affecting the spine, AS can cause problems in the joints of the hips, shoulders, ribs, hands, heels, and feet. And the joints aren't the only body parts affected by the AS. A lot of manifestations of AS include the eyes with uveitis, okay, which presents an acute eye pain, blurred vision, and sensitivity to light. Dr. Reinstein, who is a rheumatologist at the St. John's Health Center in Santa Monica, California, said it can also affect the cardiovascular system and associated with aortic regurgitation, she says, in which the blood flow in the reverse direction it should to the heart, and also the pulmonary system can be at risk for developing lung abnormalities. Men are at greater risk for ankylosing spondylitis as well. So the condition occurs 2 to 3 times more than men or women, and it all comes down to the genetic markers too. Ankylosing spondylitis can also be to blame for that hunchback type appearance. If you see somebody that's kind of hunched over, there's a medical term for that. It's called kyphosis. But yeah, when that happens, people with kyphosis aren't able to look straight. Their neck's stiffened and downward in more of a gazed position. It's definitely challenging for people that struggle with that. It's also can cause the spine to fuse. See, the spine can form these deposits, and things can begin to move so closely together that it almost begins to just fuse and look like one big rigid bone. Very, very painful, loss of range of motion when that happens. It just becomes a debilitating quality of life too. So it's also linked to inflammatory bowel disease. This is interesting, but there's about 3% of people with irritable bowel syndrome or inflammatory bowel disease that have ankylosing spondylitis. And the challenge, the link is not clear, but this genetic marker may play a role, and also some of the dietary habits. Rest might not be best, though, for AS, and that's what they say, get up and keep it moving. So exercising or taking a hot bath or shower is important, but you have to keep the body moving with AS. You don't want to lay around. The more you lay around, the stiffer you get, okay? Getting stiff is a big deal. You got to make sure you get up and get moving. That's a big key. Of course, that's my mantra for life is get up and get moving. You got to make it happen. Either make it happen or it will happen. That's for sure. Things you don't want to happen will happen. So you got to go make it happen. That's the key. Let's go to the phones. By the way, you're listening to On Call Radio. Go to InShapeNetwork.com and check us out. Oh, and if you're looking for a lifestyle provider, someone in your area that believes the same way we do, then you can go to the phone right there and call us. Our team members are always standing by to help you. We've got team members around the country. It's amazing to see our providers that are growing. We've got our clinics, the Center for Lifestyle Medicine around the country, growing left and right. It's exciting to see everything happen to be able to help you. Mike, you're next with us on the phones. How can I help?
I exercise. Having trouble losing my gut. It's not real big, but big enough. What I'm trying to ask you, how do you, even though I exercise, walk, but I exercise in the house, outside, and on the road, and I still have trouble losing that gut, and I don't know how to get rid of it. So I just thought I might call and ask you about that.
Sure, yeah. It's, losing the belly fat, the spare tire, comes down to a couple things. One, you got to figure out why your body's even doing that in the first place. Okay, that's one of the big keys. You got to figure that out. So you got to understand that there's reasons that your body's holding on to that. Typically, it's hormones. You got to get down and figure out what your testosterone levels are, growth hormone, estrogen, all that needs to be figured out first, and then you can figure out why the body is doing that sort of thing. Now, one of the big keys, too, you have to look at, and this is extremely important, and I would encourage you to look at it even more, is to make sure you're looking overall at your thyroid function and your other hormone functions? And are you exercising the way that is most responsive to your body for what it needs? See, that's the bigger issue. And so the body will work well if it's given the tools that it needs. But if it's not, then that's when it really begins to not work so great. And the belly fat itself comes down to the hormones, number one, if you have too much estrogen, but also your eating habits. So you've got to be getting enough protein, the right kind of fats, and a moderate amount of carbohydrates to give your body what it needs for energy resources, but also to help it build and recover. Because remember, the more muscle you have, the more you can drop on the belly fat. Okay? Green tea, I will tell you this as a little secret. Drinking green tea on a regular basis can make a tremendous difference. In all the research, it targets specifically belly fat. Puts another hour in the charts. I want to thank our producer, engineer John Garrison, and the rest of the team. Tell one person something you learned on the show. Together, we can transform the health of our friends, our families, and our communities. You're listening to the show that helps you get well, stay well, and live well, where we're diagnosing hope one person at a time.
Did you know you could listen to the Asa Rx audio experience on Spotify and Pandora? For all the ways to watch and listen, check out our show page at asarx.com/experience.
Hi, it's Asa. I'm giving you a copy of my best-selling book for free to help you in your health journey today. I'll pay for the book. All you do is just cover the small shipping and handling costs. Go to asarx.com and get your free book today.
This episode is over, but check episode notes for links to products and services you've heard about on this episode. Thanks for listening and subscribing. Please share the Asa Rx audio experience with others and stay in touch by giving us your comment or review.